Hello, everyone. My name is Gary Harrison, and welcome to my Pod Opinion Cast. Stevie Wonder. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. Today, it's all about a legend. Don't forget, everything you deal with is only one thing and nothing else. Stevie Wonder couldn't see. There was only one thing. His walk through life was much more profound. He visualized through music. Before we make music, the music makes us. I feel many artists feel that way, especially recording artists. As you write, you want to touch people. It has to become you. It has to consume you. Stevie Wonder's music has been very beneficial to my life. I've learned, I've listened, I projected. That's what he does. He projects on a very high level. He projected at such a high capacity that many people thought that he could see. Sure, he could see. He started discoveries in his mind, the colors, everything he was visualizing that came to fruition. That one thing didn't hold him back. He became a virtuoso on instruments so young. At the age of 11 years old, he was discovered by Ronnie White of the Miracles on Motown in Detroit. He sang his own composition, Lonely Boy. And the CEO, Berry Gordy, he was mesmerized when he played the harmonica. When he started playing the harmonica, he was sold. So let's see what was going on in 1963. Yeah, we're going way back. The world professionally was introduced to Bill Cosby, Barbra Streisand, the Beatles, and a 13-year-old who was a virtuoso, considered to be Motown's youngest son. Yeah, he was considered to be. You know, in the Michigan School for the Blind, Stevie learned classical piano. This was right around the time he made his first album. Recorded live, the 12-year-old genius. The single was Fingertips from the album that was released in May of '63. Now, it became a major hit. Yeah, he was a child prodigy. He became a pop titan. He went by the name of Little Stevie Wonder back then. The producer Clarence Paul gave him that name. Yeah. Because they said that the way he played drums, the harmonica, piano, he was delving in all these instruments, and everybody came up with this name. It was like a wonder that a child can do that who was blind. So he got the asterisk, Little Stevie Wonder. Stevie was even in 2 films back in the 60s due to that major hit. Well, fast forward so many hits later, like I Was Made to Love Her, For Once in My Life, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours, Uptight. We all know that Stevie Wonder was destined to be a legend. So Stevie was already a veteran, big time. At age 20, he married Sarita Wright, a songwriter and former Motown secretary. he would work with her and they would do an album called Where I'm Coming From. This was a pinnacle move because around this time, he became interested in utilizing synthesizers after hearing an album from an electronic group, Tonto's Expanding Headband. You know, one of the most intelligent quotes from Stevie was, "Just because a man lacks the use of his eyes doesn't mean he lacks vision." In this case, Stevie never lacked vision. He had the foresight to see the future, the evolution of music, sonically, technically, and he wanted to express himself, evolve, and perpetuate these ideas for the new generation. So let's enter the classic 70s creative outlet for Stevie. When Marvin Gaye decided to take control into his productions, like the first conceptual album, What's Going On, I think that inspired Stevie to want to elevate. And we, the public, we were lucky. We got albums like Music of My Mind. Then we got Talking Book, where one of the greatest pop songs that ever lived, in my opinion, called Superstition, was created. In fact, for me, was the first time I saw Stevie Wonder ever. It was on Soul Train. I heard him sing that song the first time. What a way to be introduced to Stevie Wonder as a kid growing up in Brooklyn, New York, watching Soul Train morning, and there's this guy up there doing one of the most brilliant songs I ever heard at that time in my life as a youngster. Then you had Inner Visions, where one of the singles from that was Living for the City, which is amazing. Feel, atmosphere, captures the essence of how many people were experiencing life in America. Yeah, then you had Fulfilling Its First Finale, which had brilliant singles like You Haven't Done Nothing and Boogie On Reggae Woman. I mean, all the Grammys he was accumulating in those years, you know. And then, of course, we can't forget the genius, Songs in the Key of Life. Yeah, you can unpack this album any way you want to. Brilliant, genius, innovative. But it took him 2.5 years to make. Quincy Jones said the album had a unified theme. It's subtle in its extended form, but it was a unified theme. Yeah, I mean, Berry Gordy said he put all his experiences in and put it in the Songs of the Key of Life. Stevie claimed that it was challenging for him. It's impossible to cover all of what life is about. But he expressed it in songs like Black Man, Sir Duke, I Wish. Brilliant. Sheer genius. This was called his magnum opus. Yeah, it's like your Thriller, like Michael's Thriller, Prince's Purple Rain. It's capturing everything you've done as an artist and just exploding. Yeah, exploding. Creative-wise. Just all the things you've experienced. And it all boils down to the end game. And Songs in the Key of Life was, as I said, his magnum opus, the end game. And everything that subsequented that was absolute genius. But in that album, he managed to capture the imagination of his spirit as a human being. And that's why it's mind-boggling to know that this man who was raised and bred in America decides, in the end, He wants to live out his life in Africa. I mean, here's a man who came up during the civil rights era, running through the 70s, building his catalog and his legacy through his activism and musicianship. He wants to live the rest of his life out of the country where he was born. That says a lot. I mean, what is the protocol which would capitulate Stevie Wonder to remain in America? I mean, what would that even look like? We know Stevie Wonder was a prodigal hero, created so many masterpieces. As a disabled man, he was more able than any man that was able. I mean, if that makes any sense. I mean, think about it. So many people think they can't reach their goals, but this man surmounted a lot, but yet still was not content about living in the America that he grew. In any case, without sounding mundane and cliche, I want to wish Stevie Wonder the best, wherever he chooses to live the rest of his life. He deserves to be happy. He gave the world so much happiness. And what Stevie Wonder stood for is the unification of all mankind. That was his potent message. And I hope that everyone receives something from this podcast. The message is unify before it's too late. With that being said, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay humble and stay hungry. And I'll catch you on the next episode.
Peace out.